Said to be the basis of Turrican 2's design but not the first to be released is the Commodore 64 version. In this game we have shooting levels that are said to be inspired by Kaneko's Airbusters arcade game as well as Darius for the shield option. So how is the sequel compared to the original? Well, I must say it's an awful lot better. The stage design is better but still full of stupid cheap deaths and annoying jumps, but that's probably because it's a European computer game. It's to be expected. Controls are now more fluid feeling and have a tighter response time too. Even the graphics have been stepped up with more defined looks and some pretty nice parallax scrolling in certain stages. Overall, it's a much better game. The Amiga port was the first to be released, even though it was based upon the designs made for the Commodore 64 version, according to Turrican's creator Manfred Trenz. Turrican 2 is widely regarded as the best of all three original Turrican games. But why? Okay, first thing you need to know and must do, play the game with a Mega Drive control pad connected to your Amiga. This makes the Amiga port so good. It feels like a console game, and no surprise with Factor 5 being the developer. It's just so good. Even the cheap level design in some areas can be forgiven if playing with a Mega Drive control pad. Jumping is so much easier now. Not only that, but the game just feels so right. Snappy controls, great music and some lovely graphics here and there. Just check out the shoot 'em up stage with its many layers of parallax scrolling. Now that's not something you see every day on an Amiga game. Also, you have to notice just how much screen real estate the game takes up. Most Amiga games play in a tiny window filling only half the screen. Turrican 2 almost fills the screen. Very nice. If you've never played Turrican 2, then I suggest you do. See what all the fuss is about. It's not a perfect game, but for an Amiga title, it comes very close to being console quality. The original version of Turrican on the ST was cut back quite a lot compared to the Amiga version, and so is this, but it's still so much better than the original. Now we have more animation, better use of colour, more defined sprites, and solid gameplay. The music is different, but I wouldn't say worse. I quite like the chiptune style. Some tracks sound great. One point that is better about the ST over the Amiga is the lack of slowdown. There is some, but compared to the Amiga, it's hardly noticeable. While this may not be the king of Turrican 2 versions, it sure is a great runner-up. Development house Sun Project brought Turrican 2 to the PC, and wow, they really tarted up the graphics. Unfortunately, as much as I tried, I just couldn't get the audio to work. Sound Blaster, Sound Blaster Pro, Gravis Ultrasound and so on. Nothing would work. To add even more issues, I couldn't get the joystick to work, so playing with a keyboard was the only choice, and you know that's a naff option. From what I could tell, the MS-DOS port plays really well. I just wish I could have gotten it to run properly. Enigma variations are behind the Amstrad CPC port and the following ZX Spectrum port. While the CPC port is colourful, it isn't very fun to play. This is mostly down to the stiff and laggy controls. It's a shame because it does look quite nice. What a load of crap this ZX Spectrum port is. Why did they even bother using colour? The game looks awful. They should have just gone with more detailed monochrome graphics. Still, that wouldn't have saved the game if they kept the playability as bad as it is in this port. Best to stay well away from Turrican 2 on the Spectrum. The god-awful Code Monkeys were yet again responsible for the console ports. They apparently based the game ports upon the C64 code, but ended up changing all the graphics to tie in with the then new Van Damme movie, Universal Soldier. The Code Monkeys also removed the shoot 'em up stages, replacing them with crappy original areas set in the jungle, a forest, and what looks to be a junkyard. Yes, a bloody junkyard. So how is the actual game? Is it as bad as the original Turrican port? Well, actually, no. This is playable, sounds better and controls better. Is it as good as the Amiga original? Hell no. This Mega Drive port has a feeling of cheapness about it, like it was rushed or not much care was put into it. Still, at least it's better than the turd bag known as Mega Drive Turrican. Super Nintendo port was never actually released, despite the Code Monkeys finishing it. The official reason being that Accolade decided not to publish it due to the high cost of larger capacity SNES cartridges. More likely they knew it would sell like shit. Come to think of it, I don't think this port is complete, since it's missing little animation touches, such as the water on the player's head as he falls down the waterfall. Dolph Lundgren boss takes an age to die as well. And let's not mention the terrible audio quality. The playability seems to be intact though, it's very much the same as the Mega Drive port. The Game Boy port, as you'd expect, is based upon the Mega Drive version, but now with less stages. Playing this port on a Game Boy isn't actually that bad. It can be tough at times and quite fiddly too, but still an enjoyable action platformer nonetheless. Let's take a look at all those versions of Turrican 2 running side by side.